It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I've not reviewed a Brewdog beer for a while. So, I went down my local Morrison's. Thankfully, you lovely people in the YouTube comments box on one of my videos said, hey, there's new beers in Morrison's. So, I popped down and this sure was. Brewdog Silk Road Lychee and Mango Hazy IPA at 6.5% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. It was £3 a can. I haven't had a Brewdog beer, as I mentioned, for a while. I can't even remember the last Brewdog beer I reviewed, actually. It was such a long time ago. I'm wondering if it was Mallow Quest or one of those beers, but I'm sure there was something after that I reviewed. But anyway, here we are. Let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. It was £3 for the can. A little bit of smoke on the can opening, beer in the glass. My goodness me, it is punching, even from this distance, this half-arm distance. The lychee is flying out of this glass. I mean, it's like, woo! Proper full on. Lychee and mango. We got a one finger white head. Good levels of carbonation. Hazy, mango-ish, fruit juice looking beer. If it was clear, I would say it'd be heading towards amber in colour. Let's get the aroma. It's actually put a smile on my face. It's the aroma of this beer is really interesting. Really interesting. Loads of lychee, loads of mango. How much of that is from the hops? I'm not too sure. How much of that is coming from a possible ice cream concentrate, which lots of these larger brewers now use? Would be something more in line with a lot of brewers are doing these days. It's definitely big. The aroma is very big of that lychee and mango. It smells like fruit juice, to be honest. It doesn't really smell like a beer. It smells more of a fruit juice. I think if you give this to me in a fruit juice glass and said, oh, you go, here's your morning fruit juice, I'd probably drink some of it and go, yeah, thanks for the fruit juice. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. It's definitely a Brewdog beer. Definitely a Brewdog beer. I was about to talk about all of the lychee and mango, and then I got drawn back to that typical. I've said this in 10 or 12, maybe even 15 videos of Brewdog's beers now. It's either the way they've set up the brewery, or it's the water. Maybe it's the way they treat their water up at Brewdog. But you can definitely tell a Brewdog beer. There's a certain weird, dry, it dries your mouth. It leaves the mouth dry, and it's a bit like drinking a Marston's beer. You know when you're drinking a Marston's beer, you got that fatty kind of Burtonization of the water. You know you're drinking a Marston's beer. It's the way they treat their water. So it can only be the water from where they moved from their original brewery a long time ago now to this Ellen, I can't even call Ellen Brewery a new brewery anymore, because they've probably been there the best part of a decade. But as soon as they moved there, it must have been the water, the local water in the area. It's Brewdog beers are very distinct. You know you're drinking a Brewdog beer, from Elvis Juice to Hazy Jane to Punk IPA. They've all got that Brewdog twang to it. Brewdog sell a lot of beer to a lot of people. So people must like it. They must like that kind of Brewdog twang, that Brewdog, typical Brewdog. And it's on the finish, it's on the end of the beer. It's just like a sort of drying flavour that comes through. As for the beer itself, as for those flavours up front, the lychee and mango are definitely ice cream concentrates. They've done a better job. This beer launched alongside some new beers that I picked up in Morrison's, and this has done a much better job. Where have I put it? This has done a much better job than the Magic Rock High Wire Tropical, which I thought was a terrible beer. Terrible beer. Although this has ice cream concentrates used in the beer to give you that big pungent aroma, it will be lychee ice cream concentrate, a mango ice cream concentrate. If you go down the ice cream aisle in your local supermarket and you pick up a lychee or mango flavoured lollipop, then you will be tasting exactly the same flavours from that lollipop as you would in this beer, because brewers use that concentrate in their beers. It's something which I'm not fond of. It's not something I personally want in my beer. But then again, so basically I won't buy this beer again. I won't part with the £3 that I paid for this beer and buy it again out of choice. It's just not my cup of tea. But then again, the amount of ice cream flavoured tropical beers that are in supermarkets these days, they're obviously selling them. They're obviously selling a ton of them, because Tesco's, Morrison's, Asda, Sainsbury's, whenever you go in them and you see that they've launched a new range of beer, you see that they're kind of these tropical flavoured beers. And I wondered if it's the return. I wonder if they're getting a massive return in terms of profits from these beers. Because if you were to brew a beer like this with the amount of pungent aromas of lychee and mango with hops, with pure hops, then this beer would cost £8. Easily £8. If you were trying to recreate this beer with the amount of American hops, Australian, New Zealand hops needed to get that lychee and mango flavour punching out the glass, yeah, easily you'd be looking at £8 a can. But ice cream concentrate, well, that's a whole different ball game, isn't it? Well, you can buy a ton of that stuff. They probably got great big cylinders at the breweries, big containers at the breweries full of the damn stuff, and they probably inject some of it straight into the beer from the brewery itself. That's probably the plan there. And they can probably do that and make a massive return, the brewer and the supermarket, from a beer like this. And maybe that's why you're seeing these beers in Morrison's and Tesco's and Sainsbury's and Asda's, because there's a big return in profit from these beers. It's basically a bit of malt, maybe a couple of sprinklings of hops, yeast, water and mango and lychee concentrate. Bang! I mean, you can buy a bottle of blooming orange quadruple strength squash for less than £1, and that'll do 50 different servings. You imagine the small amount of lychee concentrate, mango concentrate, that they needed to put into this beer. It was probably about a penny's worth, if that, to get this flavour. And they've gone bang, bingo, bango, bongo, there you go, £3 of your money, please. So maybe it's the supermarkets that are pushing these styles of beers. But I'll say it, as I said in the Magic Rock High Wire Tropical review, craft beer drinkers are not stupid. Craft beer drinkers who've been drinking craft beer for years are not stupid people. I only bought this for review. If I'd already reviewed this beer, I wouldn't pick it up again, because I can see it a mile off now. I can see these beers a mile off. And I go, oh, no thanks. There are other breweries in the supermarkets, though, that hold their value, their core value, their passion for good craft beer. The likes of Thornbridge, the likes of Northern Monk. These are coming to the channel soon. They will have hops in their beer. I would be very surprised if they go down the road of concentrates. But that's for the future. This is the now. Silk Road by Brewdog. Actually, the Silk Road was all about money, wasn't it? Back in the day. So, you know, it's kind of ironic, really, that they called it Silk Road. They're probably laughing all the way to the blooming bank making this blooming beer. Rating for this ice cream concentrate alcoholic beverage, then. I quite like the aroma. The taste is overpowering and really full on, and nobody's fooling anybody, really. I've gone past the point now of a Brewdog rant. I've just gone past. I just know a mile off what I'm gonna get. But hey, people like it. I don't. It's a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.